Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtapraye Sabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavatir Naishtaki. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 30, Text 28. Ten 30 28. Anaya araditaha nunam Bhagavan Arihi Ishvaraha Yat Naha Vihaya Govindaha Pritaha Yam Anayat Rahaha Anayaradito nunam Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvaraha Bhagavan Haririshvaraha Yanno Vihaya Govindaha Yanno Vihaya Govindaha Prito Yamana Yadraha Prito Yamana Yadraha Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvaraha Yanno Vihaya Govindaha Prito Yamana Yadraha Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvaraha Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yamana Yadraha Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvaraha Yanno Vihaya Govindaha Prito Yamana Yadraha Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvaraha Vihaya Govinda Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yamana Yadraha Anayaradito nunam Bhagavan Haririshvaraha Yanno Vihaya Govindaha Prito Yamana Yadraha भगवानरीश्वरः नो विहाय गोविन्दः प्रीतो यामनयद्रहः अनयाराधितो नूनम् भगवानरीश्वरः नो विहाय गोविन्दः प्रीतो यामनयद्रहः Mataji's अनयाराधितो नूनम् भगवानरीश्वरः नो विहाय गोविन्दः प्रीतो यामनयद्रहः. What word meaning? Anaya, by her. Araditaha, perfectly worshipped. Noonam, certainly. Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Hare, Lord Krishna. Ishvaraha, the supreme controller. Yat, in as much as. Naha, us. Vihaya, rejecting. Govindaha, Lord Govinda. Pritaha, pleased. Yam, whom. Anayat, led. Rahaha, to a secluded place. Translation. Certainly, this particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful personality of Godhead, Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. Please repeat responsively. Certainly, this particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful personality of Godhead, Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that the word araditaha refers to Srimati Radharani. He comments, quote, "The sage Sukadeva Goswami has tried with all endeavor to keep her name hidden, but now it automatically shines forth from the moon of his mouth. That he has spoken her name is indeed her mercy, and thus the word araditaha is like the rumbling of a kettle drum sounded to announce her great good fortune." Although the gopis spoke as if jealous of Srimati Radharani, they were actually ecstatic to see that she had captured Sri Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes the following detailed description of Srimati Radharani's footprints as given by Srila Rupa Goswami in his Sri Ujjvala Nilamani. At the base of a large toe of her, maybe you can put it, you can put the picture. At the base of the large toe of her left foot is the mark of a barley corn. Below that mark is a disc, and below the disc is an umbrella. And below the umbrella is a bracelet. A vertical line extends from the middle of her foot to the juncture of her large and second toes. At the base of middle toe is a lotus. Below that is a flag with a banner. And below the flag is a creeper together with a flower. At the base of her small toe is an elephant goat. And upon her heel is a half moon. Thus, there are 11 marks on her left foot. Quote, "At the base of the large toe of her right foot is a conch shell, and below that is a spear. At the base of the small toe of her right foot is a sacrificial altar. Below that is an ear ring, and below the ear ring, a club. Along the base of the second, third, fourth, and small toes is the mark of a mountain, below which is a chariot, and on the heel is a fish. Thus, altogether, there are 19 distinguishing marks on the soles of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Sakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrpatamaham Bande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pastacha Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. On the most auspicious occasion of the appearance of Srimati Radharani, we are continuing discussing Srimati Radharani's glories and her pastimes. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, from the diary of Swarup Damodar Goswami, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a discussion about the Radha Tattva, the truth of Srimati Radharani. It is stated that Lord Krishna and Radharani, they are one in identity, but they are manifesting separately. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami goes to say that again they united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, it is, Srila Prabhupada explains, Shakti Shaktiman Veda. This is Achintya Veda Veda. Shakti is power, energy, and Shaktiman is energetic. And in one sense it is same, in another sense it is different. By manifestation different. Veda, Aveda, both are there. So Prabhupada gives the example of how heat and light. Fire is there. The fire, the heat is coming, not different from the fire, but they are different also. So it is described how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has got three potencies. Bhagiranga Shakti, that is what we are seeing here, external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there is Tatastha Shakti, marginal potency, we the living entities. And Antaranga Shakti is the internal potency of the Lord, with which the spiritual domain, entire spiritual domain is made up of. So this Antaranga Shakti is actually divided into three. Sandhini, Samvit and Hladini. So the existence in the spiritual world is by Sandhini Shakti. And the cognitions, knowledge, is by Samvit. And Hladini Shakti is the pleasure potency. And Srimati Radharani is the personification of this Hladini Shakti. Personification of the pleasure potency of the Lord. So, like Lord Krishna is the source of, cause of all the incarnations, and Srimati Radharani is the cause of all the consorts of the Lord. Lakshmi ji, Sita ji, everybody is the expansion of Srimati Radharani. So Srimati Radharani is the original personality. So, the dealing between Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna, they are very confidential, and it is pure love. And the word love, when we hear, we try to relate between what we know in this material world as love. And Shastra says that is not love. The material world, what is being expressed as love is actually lust. The difference between gold and iron, like that the difference between the prema and kama, the love of Godhead and the lust. So, because these pastimes are very confidential, it is actually meant for the liberated souls. Because if an ordinary person with the material concept hears, he will think, wow, that means, no, I can also do similar thing like that. Which is highly discouraged. Highly discouraged. Srila Prabhupada chose to publicly speak on the philosophy, practical application, sadhana, etc. He very most confidential pastime he avoided, because there are two things. One is the speaker, another is the audience. The highly confidential topics, both have to be qualified. If one is not qualified also, there won't be any discussion. Srila Prabhupada demonstrated it by his own personal example. He was preaching in Chennai, Madras, those days. He was staying in the house of one Mr. Balu, South Indian, Brahmana. He was worshipping Radha and Krishna in the house. So Prabhupada was staying in his house. Those days there was no temples, Temples were not there. So he used to always stay in some host, his house. So Mr. Balu and his wife came, elderly couple, and they came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, we would like to hear about Ras Leela. Kindly narrate Ras Leela to us, because you are from Vrindavan, Brajbasi, so you should be able to narrate. Prabhupada said, no, this topic is for liberated souls. No, Swamiji, please, we just want to hear, we are very desperate. No, it is for liberated souls, not to be discussed. No, Swami. Prabhupada said, oh, maybe you are qualified to hear, but I am not qualified to speak. Maybe you can find somebody who is qualified to speak. You can see, Prabhupada is staying in his house, and he is taking his help. But still, when he found that the mood, attitude is not on that level of hearing, he avoided speaking. So that is Srila Prabhupada's standard. So in this way, the very confidential topics are meant for liberated soul, which actually creates spiritual inspiration than material hankering for enjoyment. That is the bottom line. That's the bottom line. So in this way, we take the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, following in his footsteps, try to discuss the topics which are most confidential. But Srila Prabhupada writes about it in Krishna book, in Chaitanya Charitamrita purpose. If you go deep, he writes also. It's not that completely avoided. So when one advances, he can be able to understand properly. SriSriRadhaRasbihari ki, Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki. So, the word Radha is not explicitly spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. But whereas in this verse, her name is coming in the form of being hidden within Aradhana. Sometimes questions are asked, what is this Radha why it is not spoken? But where it is spoken, we have to see also. There are so many places Radha is spoken, not in Bhagavatam, other scriptures. Rig, Sama, Atharva Veda, it is said that Stotram Radhanam Pate Girva Hovira Yashyate. Radhapati. Radhapati is Krishna. Radha's name is specifically spoken. In Padma Purana, it is very nicely described. Yata Radha Priyo Vishnu Tasya Kundam Priyam Tata Sarva Gopishu Saivaika Vishnu Ratyanta Vallabha. It is said Srimati Radharani is very, very dear to Krishna. And her bathing pond, Radha Kund, as Radharani is very dear, the Radha Kund is also very, very dear to Lord Krishna. And of all the gopis, she is the most beloved of the Lord. Here it is no hidden thing, straight, because it is not spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. Why he is not speaking, we will come to that. In Brihat Gautamiya Tantra also says, Devi Krishnama Iprokta Radhika Paradevata, Radhika Paradevata. And it is very clearly said that she is the central figure of all the goddess of fortunes, all the Lakshmis, also Lakshmis. Sarva Lakshmi Mai, Sarva Kantihi, Sammohini Para. It's not that we are just assuming things, it's all there. We can't say, because we are following certain things, we assume everything. No, we are not assuming. It's all substantiated by the scriptures. So, in this way, Srimati Radhika's name is pronounced very clearly in other places. But in Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami chooses not to specifically state the name of Radhika. It is explained by our Acharyas. Sanatan Goswami in his Brihad Bhagavatamrita says that Sukadeva Goswami, if he actually took the name of Radha, he will go into ecstasy. Sometimes you go into ecstasy, then you go into meditation, no? His purpose is to finish the Bhagavatam in 7 days. If somebody goes in meditation, it may be 7 months also he can be in meditation. What to speak of 7 days, 7 weeks. Once you are in the mood from the material platform to the spiritual platform, the time scale differs. You can't count this time scale. So somebody can go into meditation for a very long time. Then what will happen to Parikshit? So he purposefully doesn't take, because इनको तो फायदा होना चाहिए. So Srila Jiva Goswami in Gopal Champu says that since he says this Sukha is parrot, you know. So Sukadeva Goswami is actually a pet parrot of Srimati Radharani. Parrot. The pet parrot of Srimati Radharani. So Radharani wants to hear more about Krishna. A pet Radharani wants to hear about Krishna. So that is why the parrot is also talking about Krishna only. More. Hearing about more Krishna. And Sukadeva Goswami also wanted to please Srimati Radhika in such a way that he glorifies about Lord Krishna to the jivas, conditioned souls, so that when the conditioned souls hear about Krishna, then Radharani becomes pleased. Radharani becomes pleased when Krishna is glorified and people hear and become Krishna conscious. So, in this way, Srimati Radhika's name is indirectly spoken by Sukadeva Goswami in this particular verse. And in the spiritual world, the appearance of Lord Krishna and Srimati Radhika is described as, in the Rasa Mandal, there is Ratna Singmasan, in which the supreme absolute truth, one absolute truth, Ekam. And that absolute truth, when it desired to enjoy, it manifested as two. From the left side came a beautiful Devi, and from the right side is Supreme Purusha, Purushottama, Lord Krishna, and Radhika. Left hand side, Radhika comes. So one absolute truth will manifest into two, same identity, but then they are eternally separate. So when this happened, minus infinity. Radha. Ra means Rasa Mandala. Da means Davamana. Davamana is to run to serve Krishna by plucking flowers. Srimati Radhika goes around to find flowers and offer to Lord Krishna. So, Srimati Radhika, once when she was serving Lord Krishna in Mahavan, Goloka Vrindavan, she lost her consciousness. Once she lost her consciousness, then Krishna went to do something else. She went to actually meet another gopi, Viraja gopi. Then Radharani came to consciousness. She said, Krishna is not there. So she heard from other gopis that Krishna went to meet another gopi. She has got, he can't be not doing anything, very busy. So when Radharani came to know that, then she was upset. She wanted to go and find out herself. So, Viraja Kunja, so she was going, and on the gatekeeper was Sridhama. So he was keeping, when he saw that Radharani has come, then he said something going to happen. Inside is Krishna with another gopi. He was stopping. He said, hey, Hadja. Being a gatekeeper is a very difficult job. Because you have to please inside people and outside people also. Sometimes making balance is very difficult. So this noise was going on. Krishna heard the noise. He said something wrong. Then Krishna could understand Radharani has come. He disappeared. Krishna can disappear. And then when Krishna disappeared, knowing well that Radharani is going to come, this Viraja became the river, Viraja river, encircling Goloka. So when Radharani came, she couldn't see anybody, then she went back. And Krishna went back to meet Radharani later to find out what's happening. She was very unhappy, very angry. She started abusing. That's a transcendental anger. So, Sridhama became angry also. He said, hey, why are you doing like that? You can't just be angry with Krishna like this. Hare, who are you? He said that, no, you are talking like, you are blaming me. Like demons always blame the demigod. Anything goes, there is some habit, you don't like somebody. Anything goes wrong, you blame that person. Whether it is connected to him or not. Like demigods are blamed. Demons always keep blaming demigods, anything goes wrong with them. Like that you are blaming, you become a demon. Sridhama. He becomes Shankachuda. Sridhama also cursed back, saying that you are talking like an ordinary person. No, you also become like a human being and married to somebody else. Abhimanyu. And then separated from Krishna for 100 years. Separation is because of Sridhama. It is destined to be separated. So, in this way, Srimati Radharani, in the earthly planet, in Braj, appears on 1,000 petal lotus flower. And Vrishabhanu, he was taking bath in Yamuna, meditating. This lotus flower comes and touches. Then he comes out of meditation. When he opens his eyes and sees, he sees a very beautiful, golden colored baby in the lotus flower. He was very happy because he didn't have children, and he brought the baby, but he was very concerned because the baby's eyes are closed, not seeing. He was very concerned. And knowing that Vrishabhanu has got a baby girl, then all the nearby friends, relatives, they come and see. So Yasoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj, they also went to see the baby girl. And she was in the cradle. So when they came to see, but then once the family meets, talks starts happening. So when they were discussing, Krishna is also a baby, little bit grown up baby. So he goes and touches the cradle and gets into and then touches the eye of Srimati Radhika. Then she knows that she has to open the eyes now. So she opens the eyes and the first thing she sees is Lord Krishna's lotus face. She was keeping the eyes closed. She didn't want to see anything else other than Krishna's lotus face. So in that way, Srimati Radhika opens her eye and sees Lord Krishna. And when Radhika became 7 months old, Vrishabhanu Maharaj wanted to have the Annaprashna ceremony. There are so many ceremonies. Namakaran, Annaprashna, so many ceremonies. So he arranged a big festival. He invited so many guests and Brahmanas came and were doing yajna, etc. And also Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya, they also came with Krishna. So in the big festival when everybody was busy, Lord Krishna was given prasad, Krishna was eating prasad. And Srimati Radhika, 7-month-old, crawling, came to Annaprashna ceremony, but they were not feeding Radharani actually, somehow or other. Usually Annaprashna means you bring the child and feed, forcefully. And they were so busy, they were not feeding. Srimati Radhika thought she herself will feed, Anna to herself. She crawls to Lord Krishna's plate and takes Mahaprasad from Lord Krishna and eats. Annaprashna ceremony. This is self-Annaprashna. All babies may not be able to do that. Radhika can do that. So, once Durvasha Muni visited Vrishabhanu's palace. Durvasha Muni, we know that he will be very pleased when you are doing a nice service, and if you are doing something wrong, you are finished. So, Srimati Radhika, she is a very good cook, by the way. So she made very nice preparation, sweet rice. And he fed Durvasha Muni. So it was so delicious. It was like nectar. And obviously, Srimati Radhika's cooking after eating, how Durvasha Muni will not be pleased. He was so pleased. He said, okay, now onwards, anything you cook, it will be like nectar only. Anything you cook, it will be nectar. And whoever eats it, they will get long life, strength, beauty, fame. They will be very, very strong and, long life. So, in this way, Srimati Radhika, she was blessed by Durvasha Muni that anything she cooks will be like nectar. So, Yashoda Maya, knowing this, when you cook, it will become nectar, you come and cook. So, Srimati Radhika used to go to the house of Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya, and she used to cook. Yashoda Maya wanted her to cook because Krishna will become very strong. Already he is strong, but then they didn't know. And he will have long life. His life, no end to his life anyway. But Yashoda Maya has her own feelings. So in this way, Srimati Radhika also gets the very good opportunity to cook for Krishna. So in this way, Srimati Radhika always used to go and cook for Lord Krishna. So there are a lot of things to discuss. We will discuss about the particular sloka that we have read. So, Lord Krishna, in the Sarat Purnima time, he plays on the flute on the banks of Yamuna, inviting the gopis. Krishna can play the flute, and through the sound, he can send message, special. So, the sound, somebody may hear it as just a flute sound, but it was actually an invitation for all the gopis to come. Hey, come like that. How can you do that? Transcendental. And all the gopis come to meet Krishna in the middle of the night. It's not during the daytime, it's the middle of the night, by the way. They were doing different activity, they all come and in the forest, jungle. And then Krishna says, oh, you are young, thin-waisted girls, why did you come? Ferocious animals may be there. Your dharma is to serve your husband. Please go back to your house. He said, why did you invite them? It's not just he played randomly and they landed up there. It was specifically invitation for them. So Krishna was testing. They said, no, nothing doing. We have come, we have to do. Then Krishna engages in the pastimes with the gopis. Ras Leela starts. And everyone, the speciality with Krishna is that when he was dealing with so many gopis, he expanded into so many forms. So each one of them thought that, Krishna is with them. This is transcendental. One person, somebody says that Ras Leela, if Balu wanted to understand, if he says Krishna expanded, he may not believe actually. Unless somebody is a devotee, you can't accept it. How you can expand like that? Because we are thinking from our way of conception, material conception. In that this will not fit in. Unless you accept the authority, one cannot go further. So when everyone thought like that, then Krishna disappeared. And everybody was saying, hey, what happened, Krishna? Then they started searching. And when they were searching in the forest, then they come across the footprints of Krishna and Radhika. Because these footprints are very specific. Lord Krishna, in his footprint also, there are specific marks. Like that, there are specific marks of Srimati Radharani's footprints. Many times, devotees are hankering to, all the time, you see Krishna's lotus feet is visible. You can see Krishna's lotus. You don't see Srimati Radhika's lotus feet covered. There was a lot of discussion about whether show the lotus feet or not. There are specific instructions. Prabhupada said you don't have to show the lotus feet. And some people wanted to show, because some other people may be showing in different other temple. And there was a discussion whether to show or not. GBC resolved that Prabhupada did not want to show. So we are not showing, even on special occasions. But those who are hankering to see the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, there is a wonderful description about what are the different signs are there. So we can see this. This is an opportunity for it. So this is the darshan. So you want charan darshan, it's also charan darshan. But this darshan is not only for the eyes, this darshan is for also ears. Ears darshan is more important. Tattva darshan. Tattva is seen by means of ears, not by eyes. Tattva darshan. Philosophy is called tattva darshan. So you visualize the thing by hearing. So here we are having the wonderful lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, in which 19 specific marks are given. So we can see, we have already read barleycorn, disc, lotus. So all these signs, they actually give some meaning. There is some meaning towards that, not just they just manifested like that. So there are different acharyas discuss over what each sign means. So there is a barleycorn which is just under the left lotus. Left means, actually what you see on the screen, right is actually left lotus feet of Radharani. What is on the right is left, and what is on the left is right. Barleycorn. Barleycorn means that once you find the shelter of Srimati Radhika, then all your former journey in the many, many births, all that karma accumulated becomes like a small grain like barleycorn. Chota. Barleycorn is just small, There are so many grains. Why barleycorn? Because barleycorn also actually sign of prosperity. Not only that you get rid of all the old bad karma, then prosperity comes. And it also nourishes. The taking shelter of the lotus feet nourishes the living entity's spiritual growth. Barleycorn. And then disc, chakra. Chakra is there. The chakra is known for, it is the Tejas Tattva, fire. It burns away all the enemies. Kama, Krodha, Moha, Madha, Matsari, all these enemies are actually burnt. So if one takes shelter, catches the lotus feet, and then come, no, the Tejat Sat, no Tattva, mercy is there. You can get rid of the bad things in your life. And it also, light is there, it also dissipates the darkness. Whole problem of suffering is because of ignorance. Tamaso ma, don't be there. Jyotirgamaya, this chakra gives the jyoti. That is there in the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika. Then umbrella, there is an umbrella there, under chakra. The material miseries are like incessant rain. When there is a rain, when rain is there, you want a shelter. There is a shed there, so we didn't feel the rain during boat festival. Otherwise, boat festival used to be like, Hare, rain, karnai, nai karnai, nai karnai. When there is a shelter, you don't have any anxiety, no? So this umbrella is like giving shelter from the incessant miseries, material miseries. And this also symbolizes that, exactly like Lord Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill like an umbrella. So this also reminds, when you are under umbrella, you are protected. And Radhika's lotus feet, this umbrella, gives protection to the devotees. And then there is a bracelet, Kangan. And this is like her man, sulky mood. Always accompanies her, sulky mood. Exactly like the hand and the bangle, they go together. You can't keep it away, no? Wearing the bangle. So together it goes, that signifies the bracelet. And there is a upcurving line, there is a line, going up. Between the big toe and the second toe. And it says that it is like climbing. If you have a rope, suppose you are suffering in the water, drowning, somebody will throw the rope, you will have to catch the rope and then climb the rope. Like that, for the living entity, this is a rope of safety. The rope is given. If you catch hold of this rope, you can actually climb and achieve the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So this line signifies the life-saving rope of the suffering living entity in the material world. And then you find the lotus under second, third and fourth toes of the, left, which is on your right feet. Lotus actually grows in water. So when the eyes become soaked with tears of ecstasy, in that water this lotus can grow and achieve the lotus feet of Krishna. And also the lotus flower fragrance spreads without any effort. In one place the fragrance spreads. Like that, the fragrance of devotional service will spread when one is fully engaged in devotional activities of Krishna. And also, the lotus actually blooms during the day, sunlight. So when ignorance is dispelled by chakra, then when there is full brightness, then this lotus blooms. So they go together. And then you see a flag under the lotus. And this flag is the security and safety protection from all fears. Don't worry, flag is there. Jaya Pataka, the flag of victory. It announces that a person who takes to devotional service, the victory is destined. Don't worry, flag is there, victory flag. And then you see a creeper underneath, just above the moon. And this creeper signifies the devotional creeper. Devotion is compared to Bhakti Lata. When the seed is sown, Bhakti Lata grows. The creeper grows taking refuge under a support. The creeper needs a support. So you take shelter at the lotus feet of the spiritual master with the support. The creeper keeps growing, so that it can grow all the way up to the lotus feet of Krishna. And also, creepers are having some medicinal quality also. Medicinal quality of the creeper. So this medicine of creeper will cure all the diseases of materialism. Bhavaroga ka medicine hai, this creeper. So again you have got another flower. Upata lotasta, niche another flower. This is also fragrance. And her lotus feet is as soft as the petals of the flower. Softness also is there. The flower signifies a very soft. And then you have got an elephant gourd under the small toe. Elephant gourd. The elephant, the mind is like the elephant, mad elephant, going here and there. And this gourd, there is an elephant gourd is there. The elephant is controlled by the gourd. The elephant driver, he keeps the gourd. By seeing only, the elephant is very fearful. Because when the elephant was very small, it was beaten. Then it is, when he sees only, he may not even really beat, he will only touch it, immediately he will say, okay. If you have seen an elephant, how it's managed, elephant management. So this gourd, simply the gourd is required. So for the devotees, mad elephant of mind, this gourd will control them. Hey, don't go here and there, come here only the lotus feet. Elephant gourd. And also, Krishna's mind is also like elephant for Radharani. For Radharani, Krishna is doing so many tricky things. So to control Krishna also this gourd is there. She can control Krishna's mind also actually, with this elephant gourd. So you know that now he is controlling. Later this will be always useful to be controlling the mind and at the shelter of Srimati Radhika. And the half moon, bottommost in the feet, is the moon actually gives a very cooling, shooting effect. Like that, Srimati Radhika's lotus feet is very, very shooting, very cooling effect. And it also increasing. Crescent, it grows. So when you take shelter of the lotus feet, your devotional service also keeps increasing until it becomes the full moon for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. So in this way, now there are the symbols on the right foot. Right foot is on your left side. Conch. Conch is contains water, like in the arati, you use the conch after the arati. After the fire, water goes, fire element. After fire element to cool it, water comes. Like that, for devotees who had the blazing fire of material existence, this cooling water will actually extinguish the miseries of material miseries, of fire-like material miseries. It also says the Jala Tattva, like with Teja Sattva, the like Jala Tattva, in which from Krishna's lotus feet, actually Ganga comes. So like that, the water principle shoots us actually Lord Krishna. He shoots us actually Lord Krishna also. And when he feels the pain of separation from Radhika, when he also feels the pain of separation. So it actually shoots us Lord Krishna also. And then we have got a spear. Spear is next to the chariot. And our miserable bonds are cut by the spear, very sharp spear. Miserable bond in the material world is cut. And we have got the altar on the left, on the small toe, under the small toe, sacrificial altar, in which the miserable bonds are sacrificed. It's burnt to ashes in the altar of, this sacrifice. Earring, Krishna always likes to hear the tinkling of the ankle bell of Srimati Radhika. So earring denotes that. You are always hearing. Lord Krishna is hearing whether she is coming nearby or not. And there is a club, Gada, and capable of chastising the elephant of sinful lust. Ek maar maregato smashed, smashing the sinful lust. And the mountain signifies the Govardhan hill where the divine couple perform the pastimes. And the chariot is, if you are sitting in the chariot and it is going in the right direction, you take shelter at the chariot, then the chariot will lead you towards the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna is the expert driver, Partha Sarathi. So once you sit, Lord Krishna will direct you towards the victory. And the fish bottom, it shows that fish actually cannot be without water. Fish has to be in water. So a living entity who is in the material world is actually fish out of water. So it reminds that you come to the water. Come to the water. So in that way, it signifies that the living entity should be like a fish, not to be wanting to be in the material world, but come to the spiritual domain. It also reminds that she cannot, Radharani herself like a fish out of water when she is not associating with Krishna. So in this way, this 19 auspicious marks, Charan Darshan, we can have. And then by these auspicious marks, we can get inspiration to perform our devotional service so that we can achieve the perfection of achieving the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika and then also lotus feet of Lord Krishna. So, we will cut short so many things and discuss few things about Lord Srimati Radhika's pastimes. Oh, boat festival. We did just a boat festival yesterday, and there are some pastimes of boat festival. So, in Nandagram, the devotees, Nanda Maharaj, they all wanted to go to actually take bath in Ganga Snan. They all preparing to go. Then Krishna said, well, we are going to Ganga. He said, Vrindavan, all Tirthas are here, where is there to go? Then he was thinking about that. Then Ganga herself manifested in Braj, Manasi, known as Manasi Ganga river. Then Krishna said, see, Ganga has come here, so you will take bath here only. Where is the question of going there? So if we go to Govardhan, we see now small Manasi Ganga, but it used to be a big river actually. So once, Brahmanas from Mathura, they came to Govindakund and they were performing some sacrifice. So in the sacrifice, if you participate, you'll get long life for the husbands and you'll get cows, etc. Then all the residents wanted to go. So Srimati Radhika said, okay, we will also go to that yajna. And they carried milk preparations, dahi, and ghee, butter, etc. So they came to Manasi Ganga and they had to cross the river. And Lord Krishna said, yes, boat, please come. So, Radhika said, you are looking young, but your boat is very old. Thoda acha boat to rakhna chahiye. What is this? Very old boat. You should get a new boat. Lord Krishna said, okay, you please give me a competent Taruni, so that I will give away this Tarani. Tarani means actually boat. Taruni means a young girl. You give me a young girl, I will give away this. And she said, what is this? To cross the river, you need a boat, not a girl. How you cross with a girl actually? What are you talking? Lord Krishna, as a boatman, said, Tarani actually, boat is used to cross the river, but if I can get a proper Taruni, proper girl, and she can help me to cross the material ocean. Crossing the material ocean is much bigger thing. So she acts like a boat for me to cross the ocean. So in this way he said, Taruni is more powerful than Tarani. They said, no, we cannot argue with you. So chalo, boat chala. So Krishna was rowing the boat, there was wind, boat was rocking and milk product were wasted here and there. And he said, we were going to the yajna and we wanted to offer this, is that all wasted? He said, no, don't worry, everything is okay. And with his Yoga Maya, Krishna created a whole island in between. And then he performed this pastime with all the gopis. And all of them went to the yajna after that. On another occasion, Radhika and other gopis, they were carrying milk product to sell in Mathura, and they again came to they have to cross this Manasi Ganga. And now this time Krishna was there as a boatman, as an old boatman, disguised. He said, chalo, chalo. Then he started rowing the boat, and after some time he stopped. He said, क्या हो गया? नहीं मेरे को थक गया है, भूख भी लग रहा है, थकावट है, क्या करें, कुछ खाने के लिए है क्या? He knows they are taking so many things. He said, ठीक है खाओ कम से कम, चलो बोट तो चलाना है. Then he ate. After eating, he said, अभी ज़्यादा खा लिया, थोड़ा I have to take some nap. You all do one thing. If I take a good nap, I will be able to row. For me to take a good nap, you please massage my feet and hand. My hand is also very, painful. Feet, ये दोनों आप लोग massage करो, फिर लेके जाए. They said, are you going to row or not? If you are not going to, we all will take you and throw you into water. नहीं, ठीक है. So, after some time, he said, the boat is very heavy. You people have to overload over here. If you are not, water is already leaking. If you are not going to reduce the load, then it may sink. Then I am not responsible. क्या करना है? आपका जो है फेंक दो. Butter, ghee, they threw it. Said, not sufficient. More. They took the jewelry. You are wearing so nice jewelry. निकाल, इतना वजन क्यों पहन गया? Still, it was not going. And then there was a storm. Wind was blowing. The boat was rocking. Then Radhika caught hold of this boatman, thinking elderly man. Then when caught hold, there is a flute there. ये कौन है flute सब रखा है? Boatman के पास flute का क्या काम है? Then she could understand it was Krishna only. So this is nicely described in Gopal Champu. And once Lord Krishna, when he was performing his pastimes with the gopis actually wanted to go on the other side. Durvasa Muni was there. Again Durvasa Muni. And they said that if you go to Durvasa Muni and nicely feed him, then we will get good husband. But Yamuna was flowing. And they came to Krishna, how to cross. He said, you can cross on your own. No, there is no need for boat. Kya karna hai? You do one thing. You tell Yamuna that what I tell is truth. And that truth is, Krishna is always a brahmachari. Like that you go and tell. And Yamuna, if it is truth, it will give way. And then you walk across. Boat ka kya zaroot? They started laughing. All the time you are with us. And you are telling you are brahmachari. Kya drama? आपको रास्ता चाहिए कि नहीं? At least go and test it, what's the problem? Then the gopis went. That Krishna is a nitya brahmachari. Eternally he is a brahmachari. Immediately Yamuna gave the way. He said, Hare, kya hai? ठीक है, चलो, जल्दी जाएंगे. That side they went. They fed Durvasa Muni. And then Durvasa Muni gave the blessing. Now return. How to return back? Then they asked Durvasa Muni. He said, you tell that what you are telling is truth. Durvasa Muni did not eat anything. Abhi itna khilaya. You are telling not, go and tell, then you find it out. They came and said, Durvasa Muni did not eat anything. Yamuna gave the way. A surprise. They came this side. They met Krishna and said, Krishna, we want to know something. What is this? You said you are a brahmachari, and it is the truth. And he said he has not eaten after eating everything. That's the truth. Kya hai? So Lord Krishna is a brahmachari, by the way. Lord Krishna said, I am Jitendriya. I am the controller of all the senses. I have conquered everything. So, when the mind and senses are fully under control, no, then what is happening in the activity, does not get affected. If we get involved, like Prabhupada did not want to discuss confidential pastime because our indriyas are not conquered. Indriyas have conquered us actually. As soon as we hear something, immediately we think, how can I do that? For Krishna, his mind doesn't disturb. He fully under control. That is why I am brahmachari. Then what about him? His senses are also under control. He was eating, but he was not eating for the taste. If acha item hai khane ke liye kahta hai, then mind is not controlled. His mind is fully controlled. Whether he gave this or that, he would have eaten. So when the mind is fully under control, eating is as good as not eating. In this way, I will take one nice pastime of Srimati Radhika, and we will end today's lecture with that, even though there are so many pastimes. Once Srinivas Acharya, he was always used to go and a pure devotee of the Lord, when they go into meditation, they actually, in this, they can actually, in that Siddha Swarup, they can actually participate in the pastimes of the Lord. So one day, Srinivas Acharya, he went into meditation. He was not coming back. One day, 2 days, if somebody goes in meditation, you don't come back. Then they were wondering what to do. Disciples were very concerned whether he's going to come back or not. Then another devotee, Ramachandra Kaviraj. So he is a doctor also. So they called him. He could understand there is something special going on. So Srinivas Acharya, he is another Manjari in the pastimes of Krishna. So he also went into meditation. Already ek jan meditation mein, dusra jan bhi gaya meditation. So when he went into meditation, we met Srinivas Acharya in the he joined the pastime. He also went and joined. So there are pastime going on, and in the pastime everybody is searching something. What is happening? What is searching? They said, met Srinivas Acharya. He said that the nose ring of Radhika, it is lost. We are all searching. Acha? You also search. So in this way, Srinivas Acharya is actually Mani Manjari, one of the Manjari. And Ramachandra Kaviraj is a Karuna Manjari. So Karuna Manjari, Mani Manjari, they were also searching for the nose ring. And finally, Karuna Manjari, that is Ramachandra Kaviraj, he found. All were already searching, they did not find. This person just entered the pastime, he found it. He said, what did he do? As soon as he found, he went to Mani Manjari. It is nose ring of Radhika. He could have gone to Radhika and given it, no? Hare, mil gaya mera. He gave it to Mani Manjari. Mani Manjari gave it to Guna Manjari. Both levels hai. Guna Manjari is none other than Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And then Gopal Bhatta Goswami gives to actually Lalita Sakhi. And Lalita Sakhi gives to Srimati Radhika. Even though it is found by one person, passed on with step-by-step spiritual preceptors. Then Srimati Radhika, very pleased with Srinivas Acharya, and she comes and gives Tambula, betel nut. De diya. Leva Mahaprasad. So, Srinivas Acharya tied unka chadar, चादर रखा थोड़ा कभी कभी महाप्रसाद को बांधना पड़ता है, प्रोटेक्टेड. पुजारी लोग का बहुत एक्सपर्टाइज है इसमें. So he tied it, and now things are over. Both of them came back, Ramachandra Kaviraj and Srinivasa Acharya. They came back to, everybody was very happy, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Then there was a very special smell, fragrance. Kya hai? Then Srinivasa Acharya, मैं तांबुल लाया. Tambula was given in the pastimes of Lord Krishna, Goloka. And what is given there is transported to material world also. If you are qualified enough. If your dhoti is qualified enough to hold it. Everything has to be qualified. Dhoti se lekar ki sab kuch qualified hona. So you can tie, and if you cannot hold it, what you can do? So he said, sabko baato. What is given in the transcendental domain is brought to the material domain and distributed as prasad. But important thing is that you are going to approach Radharani through your spiritual master, the line of disciplic succession. You don't jump the queue. So, in our own case, Srila Prabhupada, in fact, Srila Prabhupada used to say that his father, Gaur Mohan De, he actually used to call so many sadhus and he used to feed them and say that, please bless my child so that he'll become a nice devotee of Radharani. His father wanted him to be devotee of Radharani, Radharani's blessings, preach Bhagavatam, learn Mridanga, not to go to London and study medicine or law or something else. So, Srila Prabhupada also says the same thing in his lecture on Radhashtami in London, 1973, that Srimati Radhika is like our mother. I quote, I'm reading. Now I'm going to read what Prabhupada said. Instead of offering directly one flower to Krishna, you just put it in the hands of Radharani. My mother Radharani, Jagan Mata, if you kindly take this flower and offer it to Krishna, Radharani says, you have brought a flower? Then offers to Krishna. And when Radharani offers to Krishna, without fail your offering will be accepted. There is something that Radharani gives, Krishna will not put it aside. Topmost priority. You go and give it, he may be aside, but not otherwise. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada has given us the process. Again, Srila Prabhupada says, Radharani, kindly be merciful and tell about me to your Krishna. Prabhupada. To your Krishna. Krishna is yours. Krishna, Radhika's property is Krishna. You can't take it away. And if you do that, and Radharani, when she is pleased, then one's spiritual journey becomes successful. So, for a practicing devotee, one may not be even qualified to put the flower in the hands of Radha. So, Srila Prabhupada is so merciful that he has given us the process, given us the sadhana, and all our services are actually flowers in the hands of Prabhupada. Anything that we can do significantly, can offer to Prabhupada, and when that goes to Srimati Radhika, surely accepted by Lord Krishna. So in this way, we remember Srimati Radhika's wonderful quality of Supreme Mother and ready to accept the wonderful services that is coming through his pure devotees, and by doing so, we can actually please Srila Prabhupada, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Gaurnitai, Sri Radharasbihari, by which we can actually make our journey successful. Hare Krishna. Any comments, questions?
Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much Prabhuji for taking us for darshan of Radharani's lotus feet, and also these pastimes of boat festival, very very nice. Prabhuji, initially you were mentioning this shloka Devi Krishna Mai Prokta, which is from Brihad Gautamiya Tantra. So this Brihad Gautamiya Tantra, this is a Veda or part of Veda or a different scripture or what it is Prabhuji?
Vedanga is a part of the entire Vedic body of knowledge.
Okay.
Different tantras are there, that's one tantra.
So, this outside people, if we quote this scripture, will it be considered in Shruti Shastras or they will say no?
The Vedic scholars who want you to quote, for them, especially, for example, Mayavadis, for them Upanishad, Bhagavad-gita and Vedanta Sutra. Other than that, they don't accept anything anyway. So this is not to be meant for establishing Radhika's position to the non-believers. This is for devotees to strengthen their faith that yes, Radhika is there. This is for devotees, it's not for non-devotees. They will never be able to understand the position of Radhika. They will think that she is not married. They will even ask, why you are worshipping Radha and Krishna? You should be worshipping Lakshmi and Narayan. She is not even married to Krishna, they will say. We are not worshipping what happened in Bhuloka. We are worshipping Radha and Krishna in Goloka. Goloka, they are eternal couples. We are worshipping that. They can't understand that. We are not worshipping because in Bhuloka they have performed the pastime. We are worshipping because in Goloka they are eternal couples, divine couples, eternal. So we are worshipping Goloka, Radha, Rasbihari in Goloka Vrindavan. They can't understand. So, ठीक है, तुम तुम्हारा रखो, हम हमारा बस. हाँ, ठीक है. There is no question of establishing. These are all inconceivable. Achintya Beda. Those who are not even understanding Krishna's position, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, if they don't understand, don't talk about anything. For this is for those who can understand Janma Karma, Krishna's birth and activities. How his activities are transcendental. Krishna said Brahmachari, they will laugh. They will say, क्या तुम ब्रह्मचारी हम सन्यासी बोलेगा वो तुमसे हम बड़ा है फालतू क्या बात करते हैं सन्यास तो बन गया तुम्हारा माइंड कंट्रोल में है क्या पहला So this is for devotees. Why? Acharyas have quoted this so that we should be convinced, There are people, devotees are not convinced. To make the devotees convinced, these are all quoted. This is not for non-devotees. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रीमती राधारानी आविर्भाव महामहोत्सव की राधाष्टमी महामहोत्सव की श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी जी की ताई गौरव प्रेमानंदे